All right, doing a quick review for Monday, July 29th, giving you guys updated with my Apteros tryout journey. Pretty solid day. Had a 4-hour day today, getting right into it. 4-hour day with a 50% win rate. Average hold time about 1 hour. That was because of my CL trade that I had. Um, let's see. Yeah, these are the quick stats for the day. Then going into, let's see, let's do CL real quick. CL was a pretty straightforward day. We're currently traversing yearly developing value area um, on the in crude, and the primary factor for the narrative was IP. We were imbalanced down on the monthly, and we the price was holding below the 1.5, and and into the intraday chart. This is what it looked like. So basically, the 1.5 was right into this higher area of development area high. So we did not get a full pullback into monthly development area low. Instead, it maintained this fast trending imbalance on the monthly, which we saw develop into the intraday. As you can see here in this chart, price pulled into or tested previous week's value area low, and then tested higher into development very high. Eventually, we returned back within development very high for a RPB. The risk was a bit high on this trade. Once I entered, the Heiken IC change had already pushed down before I got the change, and which led to a bit more risk than I would have liked. But for me, it was clear what the situation was. It was clear from a narrative standpoint what was going on, what targets we were potentially heading towards, and I'm trying to pretty much finish what it had started last week. So I entered the trade, scaled, and then was thinking about exiting into the quarterly previous value area low, and decided I should maybe hold, maybe for a move down into monthly previous value area low. However, the price did tend to kind of slow, volume did tend to kind of slow, so I just went ahead and exited. Even at this point, around an hour or two before the close in crude, I even threw on another short just in case we did get a strong push lower. When that didn't happen, I just scaled out and then exited out. Just trying to within this targeted area, right, of quarterly previous value area low. And then also just really trying to move on with my day, not trying to worry too much about what's going on, and just trying to capture the gains that I've been able to acquire for the day. So that was in crude, A plus almost everything across the board from the hypos. The narrative itself was A plus. Was it a good quality? It was a good narrative. It was a good narrative. Maybe not A plus plus, but it was a good narrative. We had something going on. The setup was good. The way I executed it was good. Sizing was good. I don't size up yet in crude oil, but sizing was good. This is my standard sizing. Management was good. I definitely got a nice piece for my scale. That was really nice. Not all the time that happens. My exit was also good, and then the ad was also good. Just seeing what was going on, trying to get a feel for things, and seeing if I could maximize a little bit more. When that doesn't happen, I just exit out, and then so all good stuff across the board in crude oil. Then ES was a little more harder for me. Not no quality narrative. You don't have that quality in the context. You don't have a strong narrative in play at the moment. We're just hanging out near this yearly development value area high. Monthly continues to be dissonance. We rejected the monthly in the overnight, so I'm thinking short, maybe into into yearly development very high. It takes some time to kind of develop. I ended up being a little over dependent on this. I use, again, I've mentioned it before, but I use a 2-day VWAP. I became a little over dependent on that for as a driver for my intraday setups, um, and it I should have. I mean, on the intraday ETH VWAP, you have very good set. You know, you eventually get really good setups, and you have information telling you there isn't necessarily a trade until about um, what is it? Yeah, after 7. So before, or I'm sorry, after 9. Oh, I'm sorry, no, after 10. Sorry, trying to get my time zones right. After 10, you don't really have a setup. Anything before that, price is still figuring itself out. And I was a little overzealous, with my execution. Just kind of seeing and having in mind that I was looking for lower prices. I'm beginning to execute, not really being able to make sense of what's going on in the delta. And it's clear that delta is not in my favor, in hindsight at any point. Whether it be for, mostly these shorts here at the beginning. I tried to go long, which I'm not even sure what the heck I was doing. Short again on this turn, but again the delta isn't very clear. I'm executing a little close to VWAP on the ETH, and then I'm flipping long, thinking I'm missing out. But again, I don't really have a clear contextual narrative to really to support much of this trading that's taking place. And even in this long, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. That is actually, you know what? I have recency bias from the lack of rhythm that we experienced last week. So I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna continue to push higher. I'm seeing delta buyers come into delta. So I'm like, oh, we're gonna relive a situation like that. But no, that's clearly not the case. More days often than not, you're gonna have days with rhythm. So that is something that I'm reflecting on in hindsight. Most days you're gonna have rhythm. Your best trades are gonna have rhythm. You're not gonna see the what we saw the other day, where there was a lack of rhythm and you just had straight up buying in the delta. That is not a common day. So um, definitely some recency bias coming in for this particular trade idea long that I was going for. And instead, I missed out on a good opportunity to go short because, as I actually depicted in my trading journal on the Apteros community site, I do break down this whole situation that we have going on into the first half of the day, into the open. And you end up with some really good nuggets of intraday setup, information. Some really good A plus pieces of information, and it kind of starts with allowing the day to develop, and eventually you see into monthly developing value area low. We see where buyers are there, they're driving price higher here and there, and then you see them, you get a divergence into this high, where see buyers press higher but price does not press higher. And that itself in itself is a good signal. You're at development value area high, you're at monthly development area low as a level. So you have all these things stacked up on top of each other that just give a nice setup. And then you have a immediate response in the delta and in price. Sellers come right in, responding to that and to potential entry and into this test. You end up with the potential for a scale into development area low, and then maybe another reentry, or you could even consider this the first entry as a layup, because now you have confirmation in the tape where buyers were first in control. You got a divergence, sellers came, took over, and now you have a weakening in the delta into delta neutral, with the price rotation maybe into VWAP, but still. In my view, still a nice layup trade, because you have confirmation of if you're thinking that price is going to go lower, that you have all these little factors kind of supporting that already now, which you didn't have before. And then you get, push lower in delta and in price, and then you get another chance to potentially re-enter as we get this push higher in price. However, delta stays quite weak with and within downtrending delta and below delta neutral. So a lot of factors to support, going short. And then you end up with a potential exit near yearly development value area high. I do have a 2-day DVA low here, so that's why I exit out. Not necessarily because of the yearly. If anything, I would have probably I would have probably aimed for lower. Um, but because I sized down for this particular trade, just given everything that was taking place, I just went. I thought this was a solid exit. That this was me maximizing the opportunity that I had taken, and also just trying to make up for what I had already, all the mistakes that I had already done. Sometimes just being very, taking what the market gives you on a day like today, where the narrative isn't as strong, it's not as clear, becomes very important, because then you can just chop yourself up to pieces and you miss out on taking advantage of what is given to you. And then we move into the last part where we retesting developing very high again. There wasn't much going, in this move higher, unless you bought that bottom, you got that turn, which is, for me, even I don't see myself buying that. Doesn't make very much sense to me for a setup, but hey, maybe there's something there, but it really doesn't stand out to me. However, into as we test this area, I see that we are rotational. So therefore, now I'm expecting rotation to continue, and I begin to throw on some shorts, throw on a full size short, and then I size down, and then size down again. And then I pretty much exit just for a single rotation into, I guess, what would be VWAP. If we would have maintained the momentum, I would have gone for development very low. Like, that was not the case, and I felt that this was a solid exit, just given the sizing that I had taken on, and just really trying to finish the day strong, not trying to make too much out of nothing, and taking what the market's given me. Overall, solid day. In my overview, I'm covering, I still need to work on separating the quality of intraday factors during the days where context is not strong and clear. So really trying to avoid the situation that I found myself in here, where I'm taking a lot of small little losses, a lot of small little cuts, and trying to focus on the easy trades, the clarity in the trade. Here, that level of clarity that I should have been able to see. That's what I want to build upon and do more of. Let's see. Did a great job with CL. Great work on sizing. Again, this sizing during uncertainty. We don't want to be taking on too much risk during times where the narrative isn't strong and it's more uncertain than it is clear. And then I need to work on, and then it's kind of similar to that, is I need to work on clarity in my setups. So again, revisiting that idea of, how do these setups, how do the A+ setups look like? What are the small factors that we see at the DRO level that support a trade setup intraday? Especially when the N and the A are not strong or clearly there, the D, the R, and the O become much more important, and they have to be very clear when executing. So those are things that I'm kind of keeping in mind for as I review my day and my overall performance. So pretty solid. I'm trudging along. Really, really not excellent, not over the top work, but I'm getting there. I'm building on upon every day, and just gotta really watch out for those days that can push your risk, push my risk really. The days, because in the past I've struggled with the days where I'm pushing daily loss limit, and that's just not where I want to be. And trying to remember why it is that you end up with days like that, why it is that I end up with days like that, is again it goes back to the idea of what's what's the quality of the narrative, how clear is it to me, how much sense does it make to me. Because my best trading is when things are clear and they make sense, and I know what I'm seeing in real time. I know what I'm seeing coming into the day, and that is a reflection of my, or that leads to my best trading. While on the contrary, my worst trading comes from not knowing what's going on, not having the clarity of what the market is trying to do. Um, so making the decision to not trade during those days, or being able to step away, or make those important, making that important decision to help protect my risk is very key, and something that I want to be mindful of as I move forward, because I've had some good days here and there, and I'm currently doing well. I want to be mindful of what it takes and what it can look like when I underperform significantly, and what the days that kind of pretty much turn my account, in a 180 degree. So those are the days that I want to look out for, and as again, I want to remind myself right now, because it can happen all of a sudden. So you never know. Um, so yeah, that covers my current trade review, for the day, and I look forward to what the rest of the week brings us. We do have FOMC on Wednesday, so we'll see what that brings. And yeah, good trading. Good trading. Have a good one.